Alright, let's look at the isosceles triangle theorem. Right? So if triangle is isosceles triangle, then base angles are congruent. On the other hand, if you have a triangle with base angle are congruent, then it's going to be an automatically isosceles triangle. Right? So let's do that. Alright, so here's the trick. So we want to establish the congruence between triangle ABC and triangle ACB. So it's essentially the same triangle, but we flip B and C. Alright, so we want to establish the congruence between those two guys. Alright, so what's given is let's do a proof of implication this way. Alright, assume that segment AB is congruent to segment AC. Alright, so number 2, we know that angle A is congruent to itself, angle A, right? So this is by reflexivity. I would just say reflexive law. Alright, so we have that. Then we already have a congruence because here, 3, we know that the triangle ABC is congruent to triangle ACB. Right? Pay attention to the order. This is ABC, this is ACB. Right? So this is by, let's see, what do we have? Right, so we have the side here, side, so AB is congruent to AC, and AB is congruent to AC. Right? Then we have, let's see, angle here, angle A, well, this is the same angle, so we know that these are congruent, right? So therefore, we basically have a side, angle, side. So we have a side, angle, side, right? So side, AB is congruent to AC, which comes from line number 1, and angle comes from line number 2, and the side, it's the same thing. AC is congruent to AB. We're kind of using the symmetry too, but this comes from line number 1, right? So they are congruent. So therefore, corresponding angles are congruent. So therefore, we have angle B would be congruent to angle C, right? So we can make a conclusion. So therefore, angle B is congruent to angle C because these are corresponding parts of congruent figures. Right? So that's the end of the proof in one direction. How about the other direction? So let's assume that angle B is congruent to angle C. Right? So this is given. Right? So we need to probably draw another picture. So we have triangle. Actually, why don't I do this? I'm going to draw a new triangle here. Alright, so what's given is base angles are congruent. So we have this guy is congruent to that guy, which is the same as congruent to that guy, and congruent to that guy. So we have that. Right? So we know that here, 2. Segment BC is congruent to segment CB. Right? Again, this is reflexive law of congruence. Right? CB I meant, sorry. Right? So we definitely have a congruence here and here. Right? Then we can establish number 3, the congruence between triangle ABC and the triangle ACB, and this time we have an angle side angle. So we have an angle side angle. Right? Angle, it's B and C, so it comes from line number 1, Side comes from number 2. Angle again, C and B, again, line number 1. Right? So number 4, therefore, we can make the conclusion, since segment AB and the segment AC are corresponding to each other, so segment AB is congruent to segment AC. Right? So this is by corresponding parts of congruent figures. Right? That's it. I hope that this was clear.